Wow, did Chris Christie fumble that one? Matt Laszlo here with Ask a Poll. Let's get to the tape.
I get the UFO question?
Yeah, you do.
Come on,
there
man.
You go. No, but okay, we've been hearing a lot of testimony in Congress, and people are taking this a lot more seriously. And we're hearing that, there are things going on that people aren't aware of. So,
with last night's official kickoff of the 2024 presidential election with the GOP primary debate in Wisconsin, we also saw the first introduction of UFOs into this cycle. So we're going to play former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie here in a minute, but this reminded us that, oh yeah, we got Senator Tim Scott on this issue twice in July. And you're going to hear neither of them are pristine or what you're going to be expecting, but they really do pull the veil back on how congressional reporting works. First one you hear, Senator Scott entering the carriage entrance. He's getting dropped off, walking into a Senate vote. This guy does not do hallway interviews anymore. He got frustrated with something, a bit back, and stopped them. But he's this really nice Southern gentleman, so he always wants to engage. He's always joking with us. He's always wearing these bright, cool, kind of preppy socks. He's just a cool dude. And so, like chat with us, but he doesn't do interviews. And so you'll hear in the first one, he does this brilliant head fake, half a congressional reporting is like playing 5-dimensional chess, and he ousted me on that one. Bastard. But a gentleman I respect. He's a bastard. Have you looked into this UFO whistleblower, David Grusch?
How are you doing today?
I got my pulse, so that's half the battle.
There you go.
Have a good one, sir. But I don't take defeat lightly, so then, and it actually turns out it was the day that UFO whistleblower David Grusch testified over in the House. I had to rush back to the Senate side because there was an AI briefing. It was actually the third and last all senators AI briefing, which I had to cover for Wired magazine. Did a big feature on that. So leave the Grusch stuff, rush over to the Senate side, and boom, I spot Senator Scott and an aide waiting for a tram under the Capitol. And so, kind of hustle, boom, meet up with him, able to get on, and then the senator's trapped with me. Sorry, bro. So yeah, you will get a glimpse inside the Senate tram and what it's like cornering a lawmaker on a tram. Oh, and then at the end you get the treat because I inform him. Because, we're talking about, plans for August recess. And I'm like, you're going to be in Iowa a lot. And I tell him the story about Kamala Harris, now the vice president. But when she was in the Democratic primary in 2020, she pulled up at the carriage entrance and she was giving a hug to Hawaii Democratic Senator Mazi Rono. And I was just standing up there, 10 feet away. I was not eavesdropping, but our current vice president did not whisper, and I heard her loud and clear say, "I'm fucking moving to Iowa," which you had to do to win the caucus back then, even though I guess now Democrats have ditched Iowa and are all about actually Tim Scott, South Carolina. But I digress. So anyway, I inform Senator Scott about that. Look on the post at the bottom. I tucked those pictures in there. A picture of Vice President Harris as she was saying, "I'm fucking moving to Iowa." But then also, they turned that into T-shirts. This is a picture of the Vice President of the United States holding a T-shirt in Iowa that says, "I'm fucking moving to Iowa." You see what I do? for political discourse, y'all, I am here for you. All right. I'm going to play the tape. Y'all enjoy. You catch any of that David Grusch in it?
I did not.
It's interesting. That David Grusch guy. Have you heard about his
I'm not.
UAP or UFO whistleblower?
Oh, yeah.
And they actually had him testify in the House today. But he's like, I can't answer that. It has to be in the skip. Can't answer that. It has to be in the skip.
Raises the interest.
Yeah.
Right?
Apparently the line was all the way down the hallway
it's
and around
insane.
the...
So I'm like, I wish I could be a fly on the wall in that skip. But then I'm like, are flies even allowed in the skip?
Not with their cell
Right?
phone.
You have little drones with flies. Right?
I'll see him on TV.
I know. What's reality anymore?
Whatever it was, it's not anymore.
You be busy in August? You moving to Iowa? A lot. So Kamala Harris told me in 2020. No, I overheard her telling Hirono, I'm fucking moving to Iowa.
Really?
And it became t-shirts.
Wow.
You go to AI. Have a good one. All right, and as promised, here's that full clip from Fox News of former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie fumbling the UFO football. And you want to be president, bro. All right. Here's the gov.
In UFO encounters.
I get the UFO question?
Yeah, you do.
Come on,
there
man.
You go. No, but okay, we've been hearing a lot of testimony in Congress, and people are taking this a lot more seriously. And we're hearing that, there are things going on that people aren't aware of. So, if you were president, Governor Christie, would you level with the American people about what the government knows about these possible
Look,
encounters?
Martha, and especially coming from a woman from New Jersey, I think it's horrible that just because I'm from New Jersey, you asked me about unidentified flying objects and Martians. We're different, but we're not that different. Look, of course, the job of the President of the United States is to level with the American people about everything. The job of the President of the United States is to stand for truth. The job of the President of the United States is to be a role model for our children and our grandchildren. And so whether it was UFOs or this problem of education, and Tim's right, by the way, and I started this in 2010 by going right after the teachers' unions in New Jersey and drove them down to an all-time low popularity rating because they were putting themselves before our kids. That is the biggest threat to our country, not UFOs.
So, all I got for you tonight, just a quick and dirty shotgun of an Ask a Poll podcast. That is presidential candidate and South Carolina Senator Tim Scott from the great state of South Carolina. And then, yeah, you heard that dude from New Jersey. I guess he goes by Chris Christie. Man, I don't trust people with two first names. Anyway, yeah, Mr. Christie with the UFO fumble. But once Congress is back, I need to set up a sit down with Scott on AI. He wants to talk with me about that for Wired Magazine. And so, I'm going to tack on some UFO questions, y'all. Send them our way. Subscribe at askapoll.com and then get all up in the notes and the chats and the comments and send me your questions so I can pester the motherfuck out of these 535 worst politicians money can buy. As always, appreciate you. And this is Matt Laszlo signing off for askapoll.com, the people-powered press corps. Appreciate you, fam. Cheers.